Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to episode 6 of my FIFA Ultimate Team Road to Glory on FIFA 16. Now we're opening up this straight away with a game. You can see we're going straight into it. Now I did have a lot of trouble finding these games for the Movemeber Cup, which is where we're picking up, especially because of it being the semi-final, which I don't know, whatever it was, I couldn't find games. I suppose because not many people were maybe playing it or something, but yeah, it was very, very difficult. And I'd find games occasionally that were like orange bar or red bar against some, like, I don't know, China or something. And it's just like, I've done that before and the connection is terrible. But we do start off the game very, very well here. It's actually the 31st minute, so we didn't start it off all that well, but well, we did, but I don't know how to explain it. It started off pretty slowly. The first bit of action, obviously 31st minute there, and there was a red card for Supertich, so he sent it back, the down centre back, and right here we take advantage of it. The initial penalty was saved, and Rodrigo was the one who was taking it, but he does follow it up with a goal himself there, so we kind of got away with that one, but at the same time, that's a good bit of play, as well as that one there. Vidal ends up just burying that one there from a weird sort of angle, but there's a sort of angle where the ball seems to go in more times than not, so I'd say if you're in that sort of angle, just take the shot. It seems to be like long shots are a bit overpowered in this game, and that's a brilliant little ball there. Vidal, and he's putting it across the face of goal there, and he actually reads it pretty well. Crazy Camo is who it is, and he ends up sort of kicking it out, but which it did result in a corner, as you saw, and we ended up scoring from that corner. It was Carrasco. Now I didn't intend to like head that, it just did it itself, so that was kind of good for us, and it was pretty much the perfect header, so I'm not complaining. Now what I am sort of going to complain about is people who do this sort of stuff. See, Crazy Camo 11, this is just being a knobhead right here. He subbed off his keeper for Rafinha, the right back from Bayern Munich, and then proceeded to score own goals, or in this case he just held the ball until I decided to have Rodrigo go and pressure him, resulting in another goal. So it's 5-0. We only really won 3-0, but the guy just decided to be a dickhead, waste time, go and try and kick own goals to try and, take more time. I don't know if he thought I would quit or something, but yeah, I really don't know what goes through the mind of people who do that sort of stuff. It really, really confuses me. I don't understand it at all. And yeah, anyways, we end up winning 6-0 technically, but 3-0 really in my eyes. But we'll take it every day of the week. We smashed that guy really, and right from the get-go, right from when he lost Supertich through the red card, it was going to be an easy victory from there. So 1,820 coins is what we get there, and it's really nice that the multiplier is going up, so we're going to be getting more goals, as well as he scored heaps of own goals himself there. So I can't be too mad considering he did get us a few more coins there. Maybe that's a contract, maybe not. Now I should mention, we're going to mention this first. Coming up for the final, I decided to go and get Ronaldo. Now that might be a little bit of a dick move or something, but I figured everybody wants me to go to the Premier League, and I would kind of like to leave the BBVA side with a bit of a bang. So I decided, why not use Ronaldo? I don't know how many opportunities I'll have to use him, and the final, I think it's a perfect time. Looking at this side, I don't know how to pronounce his team name, Flivko or something, but holy shit, what a side that is. It's not like a full-on great side in terms of like, oh, he's got Ronaldo or Messi, but he's got really, really good players who are great on FIFA. I know Pereira is pretty good. I think it's Yarmolenko or something like that, the left forward for him. He's really, really good, as well as Dybala as well. Everybody knows how good he is on FIFA. But you see Ronaldo here on the ball. He's actually wearing the number 17. We didn't change his name or his number or anything. And Rafinha with a header there. Probably should have done a lot better, but it was from a weird angle. And Philippe Luis on the ball here, just linking up with Ronaldo. Now I've got to say, Ronaldo wasn't like super overpowered or anything this game, which is I was a bit confused with, because usually he is very, very good on the games. Like, you can just pass to him and run through him, but I couldn't do it this time. I can't remember who exactly his right back was, but he was keeping up with him, and yeah, Gaia, he's very, very quick in this game. Just Ronaldo just was getting in the positions, but couldn't really do much with it, and he was just, like I said, he was just a really, really good player. That's all I can say really. But Koke ends up on the end of that cross, and he volleys that into the back of the net, and I was very relieved to get that goal, because like I said, the guy's a very, very good player. It's pretty solid in defense. I wouldn't say he's like exceptional in attack. You can see that he really should have finished that with Yarmolenko, whatever his name is. But yeah, he was solid in defense. I know his defense is a lot easier this game from what people have said, but yeah, definitely didn't like, he was just lacking in attack a little bit. He did put a lot of pressure on, was playing those through balls there. I was finding the through balls really hard to deal with, for honest here. But Rodrigo, he picks up the ball, 65th minute, off a free kick. I can't remember what the free kick was for exactly, but he does end up winning the ball here. Now he thought he was going to end up winning the ball, but we're just going to get the ball off to Rafinha, and I thought that was game set match right there. It would have been 2-0, but Rafinha ended up putting that finesse shot. I don't know why he took it with the foot that he did. It was a bit frustrating there, and Rafinha once again could have finished it, and we got pretty lucky that the guy hasn't ended up picking up a lucky goal, which is what I kind of thought might have happened. I kept expecting there to be a lucky goal, you know, every time he'd make an attack. Not that he was really good or anything, it's just that I thought there was going to be a lucky goal coming, like I said. But thankfully, Rafinha, finally, it's about his third or fourth chance, and he just buries that one, and we end up winning 2-0. And there we have the Movemeber Cup champions, Poners FC. Now, I was going to mention earlier before the game started as well, you can see there, we've got a premium gold pack, is really nice, and 4,000 coins. Is that contracts and fitness cards. Now, I am using that sort of stuff. We are having to buy a few of them. It's just I'm not really interested in showing that. It's kind of boring. You know, I'm getting them for 150 coins, and that's it, and just applying them when needed. So that's all that really needs to be said about that. And you can see 5,766 coins for that, as well as a premium gold pack coming up. So we'll be opening a pack as well, which is quite nice. And we got team of the tournament and that, because, you know, obviously we won it. Now, here's that pack that we're going to be opening. Also, there was the 1,000 coin bonus as well. Now, we actually get a really good player on here. He's only rated 82 rated, but because of his English, he plays for Manchester City. He's got great pace and great dribbling. It's Raheem Sterling, and I hate the guy in real life, but I was really happy to pick him up in this pack. I don't really have any plans on using him, even when moving to the Premier League. So I mean, I might use him in the future, but for right now, I don't really have plans on using him. So probably will sell him off, but I'm just waiting to see exactly what I want to do with him. What would you do with him if you're in my situation? Leave it in the comments below. But what we're actually going to end this episode on isn't a third game, but it is going to be on draft mode. We are going to do our first draft mode. It's something that people have been requesting, and the captain, I thought it was a pretty obvious choice here. We have Ronaldo. I'm assuming that's some sort of man of the match sort of Ronaldo. The next position we did was goalkeeper. Now, we kind of didn't really get any great goalkeepers or anything, but I thought Ter Stegen would have been the best option for that one, so we ended up picking Ter Stegen. And then right here, the strike one was a bit of an interesting one. I heard Marks was pretty good, Martial, whatever his name is, but we went for Benzema up front. He actually scored a really good goal against us. Now we look like, I don't know if we lucked out with Ronaldo and that just took it all, because we ended up with some absolute shit players for strike. But we went for Castanos or whatever his name is. I don't know his name properly. Now, Ferreira Carrasco is someone who I did consider, but I thought Costa, heard good things about him on these games. So I thought, throw him in at right mid, we can link him up with a lot more players, and it's going to work out perfectly. Gabriel from Arsenal, he's got the Brazilian link as well. So we've got a few options in terms of what we want to do there. Anything is Ter Stegen seems a bit out of place. Now, right here, the centre backs, didn't really get too many good centre backs either, but we are going to settle for Abdenor, I believe that's his name. And then, once again, the centre back position, just our defence is quite lacking, and attack's pretty decent. Attacks not so much, but gonna pick up this guy from Watford. Doesn't really link up with anybody that well, but he was the best of the bunch. Now, there was a few options could have went for the cam position. And there was Muller, Inform De Bruyne. I think it was Inform. Actually, no, I think it was just David Silva, but we're going to go with Inform De Bruyne in the centre mid spot. It was a toss-up between Yaya Toure and Toni Kroos, really. Also, Fabregas was in consideration, but we went for Toni Kroos. And then we have Thiago. I thought Thiago was a pretty obvious one, because he links up with a few different players. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't link up with anybody yet, but you'll wait and see. You'll wait and see what my plans were. We did actually get a pretty good pickup in Valdez for the goalkeeper position. He will link up with the Premier League, plus any sort of Spanish sort of plays, which I was pretty happy about that. Although it doesn't look like we're going to have any Spanish centre-backs there. We did have another chance to get Mustafi, which we really should have done, but we ended up going for Gary Cahill instead. So, I mean, it's not a terrible option or anything. Cahill's a great player, and he links up with Valdez pretty well there as well, which is quite nice. Now, the right mid position, well, it's not the right mid position, but this one here, I was just thinking of players to go on the bench, and Coutinho's who we went with. Now, Goetze, he's someone who, as soon as I saw him, I was like, we're putting him in. He links up perfectly with Thiago, as well as Douglas Costa there on the right mid, and Toni Kroos as well. He links that up really, really well. Right here, we could have got Royce, could have got Sturridge, but we did go for Neymar, because, I don't know, I just wanted to play for Neymar. I could bring him off the bench, throw him into that strike position. Sturridge was another reason, that was another reason I was going for Sturridge, maybe, because of that strike position. We just need someone better than that guy that we've got currently. That's not Benzema, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Dembele, just sort of filling in the numbers. And then the last one is, well, I don't know if it's the last one, but Sanchez. I've heard good things about him as well, and we can bring him on as a sub possibly. Now there's a centre back, Dede. I believe that's Dede, the centre back from a few FIFAs ago, where he was like the best thing ever, like the best centre back in the whole game at like 80 rated. It was ridiculous. And I gotta say, the last few options that we got were pretty poor. Chiriches, whatever, used to play in the Premier League. Could have done with him now if he played in Premier League right now, but wasn't meant to be. And yeah, you're going to be able to see the final team that we came up with there. You can see there's been a few different changes, but next episode we'll be actually showing all of the draft games. So whether we play one game in the draft and get beat, or we play all four, they'll be shown next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter. Facebook page is in the description below, and my Twitter handle is actually MrLuke on my T. Don't know why I didn't mention that before. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, that's the end of the video. Also, leave in the comments, what do you think of my draft side? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.